Are you taking vitamin D but still feeling tired, weak, or struggling with your health? In this video, I'm going to reveal the 7 shocking mistakes that are completely destroying your vitamin D absorption, and you're probably making at least 3 of them right now. You absolutely have to know this. Hey everyone, and welcome to Revitamen. We're going to cover all 7 mistakes that are sabotaging your vitamin D levels, but make sure you stick around until the end because mistake number 1 is the one that changed everything for me and thousands of others, and I guarantee it will shock you. Most doctors don't even talk about this one. All right, let's not waste any time. The biggest mistake most people make, and we're starting with a huge one, is mistake number 7, taking vitamin D without fat. Let me explain why this is so critical. Vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means it literally cannot be absorbed by your body without dietary fat present. When you pop that vitamin D supplement on an empty stomach or with just water, you might as well be flushing your money down the toilet. Your intestines need fat to create the micelles, these tiny transporters that carry vitamin D into your bloodstream. Without fat, the vitamin D just passes right through you, completely unused. Here's what you need to do instead. Always take your vitamin D supplement with a meal that contains healthy fats. We're talking avocado, nuts, olive oil, fatty fish, eggs, or even full-fat yogurt. Just 1 tablespoon of olive oil is enough to significantly boost absorption. If you're taking it in the morning, have it with your eggs. If it's evening, take it with dinner. This one simple change can increase your absorption by up to 400%. If you can just fix this one thing, you'll already be ahead of 90% of people taking vitamin D. And if you thought that was a game changer, you have no idea what's coming. The final mistake we'll cover is even more dangerous, and it's something that's happening in your body right now as we speak. But first, let's keep going. Okay, moving on to mistake number 6, which is taking vitamin D at the wrong time of day. Most people don't realize that vitamin D has a direct impact on your sleep-wake cycle. When you take vitamin D late in the evening, it can actually suppress your melatonin production. That's the hormone that helps you fall asleep and stay asleep. Studies have shown that people who take vitamin D at night often report worse sleep quality, more nighttime awakenings, and feeling less rested in the morning.
Your body is designed to produce vitamin D when the sun is shining on your skin during the day, so it makes sense that supplementing during daylight hours works best with your natural circadian rhythm. The ideal time? Take your vitamin D supplement in the morning with breakfast. This way, it mimics what would happen naturally if you were getting sun exposure, and it won't interfere with your sleep hormones at night. If you've been struggling with sleep issues and taking vitamin D before bed, this could be your answer. Next up is mistake number 5, not getting enough magnesium. This is huge, and most people have no idea about this connection. Every single step of vitamin D metabolism in your body requires magnesium. When you consume vitamin D, it has to be converted into its active form through a series of chemical reactions, and every single one of those reactions needs magnesium as a cofactor. Without adequate magnesium, your body simply cannot activate the vitamin D you're taking. Here's the really scary part. Taking high doses of vitamin D actually depletes your magnesium stores even faster, creating a vicious cycle. You're taking more vitamin D to feel better, but it's using up your magnesium, which means the vitamin D can't work properly and you end up feeling worse. The symptoms of magnesium deficiency can mimic vitamin D deficiency: muscle cramps, fatigue, weakness, irritability, and poor sleep. Many people keep increasing their vitamin D dose without addressing their magnesium levels, and they never feel better. The solution? Make sure you're getting at least 300 to 400 milligrams of magnesium daily. Food sources include dark leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, almonds, dark chocolate, and avocados. You can also take a magnesium supplement. Magnesium glycinate is one of the best absorbed forms and is gentle on your stomach. Another common one is mistake number 4, ignoring vitamin K2. Vitamin D and vitamin K2 are like dance partners. They work together in perfect harmony, and when one is missing, things go terribly wrong. Here's why this matters so much. Vitamin D increases calcium absorption in your gut, which is great for your bones. But here's the problem. Vitamin D doesn't tell that calcium where to go. That's vitamin K2's job. Vitamin K2 activates proteins that direct calcium into your bones and teeth where you want it. And critically, it keeps calcium out of your soft tissues, like your arteries, kidneys, and heart, where you definitely don't want it. When you take high-dose vitamin D without adequate K2, you can actually increase your risk of arterial calcification, essentially hardening of the arteries. This is why some studies have shown mixed results with vitamin D supplementation and cardiovascular health. If you're taking more than 1,000 IU of vitamin D daily, you should absolutely be pairing it with K2. The recommended dose is about 100 micrograms of K2 for every 5,000 to 10,000 IU of vitamin D. You can find combination supplements, or you can get K2 from foods like natto, that's fermented soybeans, hard cheeses, egg yolks from pasture-raised chickens, and grass-fed butter. This partnership protects your cardiovascular system while still giving you all the bone-building benefits of vitamin D.
Now let's talk about mistake number 3, taking way too much or way too little. This is where things get really individual, and it's why blanket recommendations often fail. The standard advice you'll hear is to take 1,000 to 2,000 IU per day, but that's based on preventing rickets, severe deficiency. For optimal health, many people need much more, but some people need less. Here's what most people don't understand. Your vitamin D needs depend on your starting level, your body weight, your genetics, how much sun exposure you get, your skin tone, where you live, and even the season. Someone who's severely deficient might need 10,000 IU daily for several months to get their levels up. Someone who's already optimal might only need 2,000 IU to maintain. A person who weighs 200 pounds will need more than someone who weighs 120 pounds. Taking too little means you never reach optimal levels and you don't get the full benefits. Better immune function, improved mood, stronger bones, reduced inflammation, and better hormonal balance. But taking too much can lead to toxicity, though this is actually quite rare and usually only happens with megadoses over 40,000 IU daily for extended periods. Symptoms of toxicity include nausea, vomiting, weakness, and dangerous calcium buildup. The only way to know what you need is to test your blood levels. Get a 25-hydroxyvitamin D test. That's the standard test. You want your levels between 40 and 60 nanograms per milliliter, with 50 being ideal for most people. Test your baseline, supplement accordingly, then retest after 3 months to see where you land. Don't just guess with your dosage. And mistake number 2, which is incredibly important, taking synthetic vitamin D2 instead of D3. Most people don't even know there are 2 different forms of vitamin D supplements. Vitamin D2, also called ergocalciferol, is derived from plants and fungi. Vitamin D3, called cholecalciferol, is derived from animal sources like lanolin from sheep's wool or lichen for vegans. They sound similar, but they are not equally effective. Multiple studies have shown that vitamin D3 is approximately 87% more effective at raising and maintaining your blood vitamin D levels compared to D2. When you take D3, it stays in your system longer and converts more efficiently into the active form your body needs. D2, on the other hand, is broken down faster and doesn't bind as well to vitamin D receptors throughout your body. Unfortunately, many prescription vitamin D supplements are still D2 because it's cheaper and was the first form available. Some multivitamins also use D2. If you're taking a supplement, check the label right now. If it says ergocalciferol or vitamin D2, switch to a D3 supplement. Look for cholecalciferol. This is especially important if you've been supplementing but not seeing improvements in how you feel. You might have been taking the wrong form this entire time. For vegans, there are lichen-based D3 supplements available that work just as well as animal-derived versions. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The number 1 mistake that is absolutely destroying your vitamin D levels and sabotaging your health is this: not understanding that most vitamin D deficiency isn't actually a supplement problem, it's an inflammation problem.
Here's what I mean, and this is going to change everything for you. Your body stores vitamin D in your fat cells as a reserve. When you need it, your body's supposed to release it into your bloodstream where it can be activated and used. But here's the catch. Chronic inflammation essentially locks that vitamin D inside your fat cells. It's like having money in the bank but not being able to withdraw it. When your body is in a state of chronic inflammation, whether from obesity, metabolic syndrome, autoimmune conditions, chronic infections, poor diet, lack of sleep, chronic stress, or environmental toxins, your fat cells become dysfunctional. They hold on to vitamin D and refuse to release it. At the same time, inflammation accelerates the breakdown of vitamin D in your bloodstream, so whatever vitamin D is circulating gets destroyed faster. This explains why people with obesity often have very low vitamin D levels despite supplementation. It's not that they can't absorb it, it's that their inflamed fat tissue is hoarding it. This is why studies show that people with higher body fat percentages need 2 to 3 times more vitamin D supplementation than lean individuals to achieve the same blood levels. But it gets even more insidious. Low vitamin D makes inflammation worse, and inflammation makes vitamin D deficiency worse. It's a downward spiral. Your immune system becomes overactive when vitamin D is low, creating more inflammation. That inflammation traps more vitamin D, your immune system gets worse, more inflammation, less available vitamin D, and around you go. So what's the answer? You cannot supplement your way out of this without addressing the root cause. Yes, continue taking vitamin D, you still need it, but you must simultaneously reduce your chronic inflammation. This means you need to focus on anti-inflammatory nutrition, cut out processed foods, seed oils, and excess sugar. Prioritize whole foods, omega-3 fatty acids from fatty fish, lots of colorful vegetables, and anti-inflammatory spices like turmeric and ginger. You need to move your body regularly. Exercise is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory interventions available. You need quality sleep, 7 to 9 hours per night, because sleep deprivation is massively inflammatory. You need to manage your stress. Chronic stress hormones like cortisol drive inflammation sky high. Consider practices like meditation, deep breathing, or yoga. If you're carrying excess body fat, working on gradual, sustainable fat loss will improve your vitamin D status dramatically. As you lose fat and reduce inflammation, your body will start releasing that stored vitamin D, and your supplementation will become much more effective.
This is the missing piece that nobody talks about. You can do everything else right. Take D3, pair it with fat, add K2 and magnesium, take it at the right time, heal your gut. But if you don't address chronic inflammation, you'll always be fighting an uphill battle. So there you have it, the 7 biggest mistakes that are ruining your vitamin D levels. We covered taking it without fat, which cuts your absorption by up to 75%. Taking it at the wrong time and disrupting your sleep. Ignoring the critical partnership with magnesium and vitamin K2. Taking the wrong dose for your individual needs. Using inferior D2 instead of D3, overlooking your gut health as the foundation of absorption, and most importantly, not addressing the chronic inflammation that's locking vitamin D inside your fat cells and preventing your body from using it. Now, I have a question for you. Which of these mistakes were you making? Be completely honest with yourself and let me know in the comments below. Were you taking it on an empty stomach? Taking D2? Not getting enough magnesium? Or maybe you recognize that inflammation is your biggest issue. I read every single comment, and I want to hear your story. If you got massive value from this video, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Thanks so much for watching Revitamen, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care of your health. You only get one body.